TAZ is a character that has changed a lot since the open beta of MultiVersus, so today I'm going to be giving you guys a guide on the character in case you wanted to pick him up or just try him out a little bit and see if you like him. And when I say he's changed a lot, I mean it's really, for the most part, not for the better. He has gotten worse in a lot of ways, but he's still a fun character and kind of cool to try out. So right off the bat, we're going to go ahead and talk about TAZ's perks and which ones you should choose. Obviously, this last one here, you're not going to choose in singles because it only applies to doubles. Makes it to where if your allies jump into your dog pile, which is your up special, then it'll basically do more damage, have more knockback, and last longer. The other signature perk for TAZ is the Iron Stomach. This is what I used to always use back in the beta. However, I do think now it is a little bit slower. We can kind of test it out a little bit in a second here, but overall it doesn't feel as good as it used to, but it's still a decent perk. And because of that, I could honestly see you using the well-rounded perk for TAZ, which adds that 5% boost to damage. You know, this one right here, like I said, it doesn't feel as good as it used to. Obviously, you can't really use this last one in singles. So for singles, I could honestly see you using the well-rounded perk. But again, that's up to you if you want that anvil to turn projectiles into anvils. It's always a cool thing, but you can always just go for that extra damage. Now, as far as the other perks go, I do always like snowball effect on a lot of characters. I think TAZ is a great one here. You get that 7% damage boost, just get that extra damage. It's always really good. For the middle perk, I do suggest the collateral damage because you are going to be going for down air a lot of times, which knocks people into terrain, or on maps where there's kind of walls, you're going to be using side special a lot. So I do think collateral damage is a good one, just to add a little bit of extra damage every time you're knocking people down. And for the last one, I'm going to go with the Pugilist. I hope I'm saying that right, but your melee attacks will do increased damage. TAZ is pretty much all melee, so it just makes sense. Although there are some other good ones here as well, but I think this one just kind of makes the most sense. You're basically all melee. You do have a projectile, but it sucks now, so yeah. Now, as far as TAZ's moveset goes, this character has changed a lot since the beta, in my opinion. For one, back, in the original beta at first, you used to be able to go for Tornado all day, which was an insane attack. But now there's a cooldown, and whenever it's on cooldown, this move does not feel good at all. It barely lasts at all. It feels like maybe a third of the time of, your regular tornadoes. So it feels really bad when it's on cooldown, but, when it's not on cooldown, you're doing big damage, you're doing big knockback. So yeah, it is a good move, but you have to use it carefully. And that's also true for TAZ's up special. The up special is the dog pile, which has crazy knockback, but there is a cooldown once again. And when it is on cooldown, you just kind of swipe up right here. It's just like a basic attack, nothing crazy whatsoever. And so because of all the cooldowns, I never thought I would say this, but I almost feel like TAZ is not a great character for beginner players because it can be kind of strange to have all these cooldowns. And I feel like especially off stage, you're really limited on your recovery. Like, it can be very hard to kind of recover. Everything's on cooldown. Your range is really bad when Tornado's down. It's also really bad when Dog Pile is down. You can't really go straight up very much. So yeah, I feel like this might not be the best character to start off with necessarily, until you kind of figure out how to manage his cooldowns and kind of when to go for his attacks. Now, his neutral special is this bite right here, so he will actually bite people and you can kind of chew them up, spit them out. And you can of course eat projectiles with this bite as well, so that works all the time basically. It doesn't work on the bigger projectiles like Bugs' rocket, for example, but on most smaller projectiles it does actually work. And we're gonna go ahead and change our perk to the anvil right here, so let's go ahead and equip that. And so now when you eat projectiles and you go for down special, you will throw out this anvil right here, and it does definitely feel slower than it did before, I'm not even gonna lie. But yeah, you can go ahead and eat it. It turns it into down special, and it kind of flows really slowly. It's kind of weird. But it makes it basically a strong projectile. It'll spin it straight out, and then you can pick it up and throw it at people as well. So just kind of a cool little thing with the perk. Not as good as it used to be, I don't think, but it's still kind of decent. And for the specials, lastly, of course, we do have to talk about down special, which has been nerfed to the ground. So TAZ did lose his apples that he had in the beta, which were a really, really good projectile in general. The range on it was pretty nice. Instead, he has this little boot right here, which does not go nearly as far. It's not nearly as strong either. It does just a little bit, basically 1-2%, nothing crazy whatsoever. And yeah, it feels like he really lost one of his main tools, which was his down special. And it got replaced with a shoe. So yeah, that's what TAZ has now. So I mean, obviously a projectile, which you can use sometimes, but it's not nearly as good as it was. So aside from his specials, TAZ does have a lot of stronger neutral attacks in general. His forward air is very strong. It's just a nice bite. Combos into some stuff as well, so you can go ahead and land that. It'll combo into your forward tilt as well. So this is a good combo shredder in the air. It's a good way to kind of fall down with it. You always want to go for it and kind of fall down. You can follow up with forward tilt. And on the ground, the side attack, of course, is the salt and pepper, followed with a tornado right here. So that kind of combos into itself basically. Nice little 3-hit combo right there. And like I said, you have stuff that combos into that, like your forward air. So basically, you can go for the side attack in the air. You can follow it up with the salt and pepper and follow it up with the tornado right there. So a little 4-hit combo right here, basically. Right there, about 19%. Really, in general, in the air and on the ground, these are both really good attacks for your combo starters. Now, for your up attack, it's pretty decent in the air, nothing too crazy. It's just like a, nice swing upwards. But on the ground, this is one of your crazy attacks. You can literally just walk around all day doing this. It does big damage, big knockback. Basically, you can always catch people that are in the air. So this is a great tool if people just keep jumping around and like they need to land, right? So if you got people that are up here just dodging all day, you can kind of just sit down here and hold this and wait for them. You're going to hit them every single time with it. And yeah, it's just like a strong move. You can follow it up with like the up attack in the air as well. So overall, this is going to be your better move than the one in the air. And yeah, it's a strong move. Now for the down attack in the air, this is, in my opinion, one of the best spikes in the game. It's very strong. It's combos into other stuff as well. I think this is honestly one of the best spikes in the game. Like if you're kind of off stage with TAZ, you can get very early kills off stage with this. And it's also like a pretty decent combo starter, so it does combo into some other stuff as well. So this is going to be one of your good tools as well. And one of the reasons why we run the perk that I mentioned earlier, the collateral damage, is going to be knocking people on the ground all day with this. This is one of your better attacks for sure. Very, very strong. And your down attack on the ground is also very decent right here. So you can charge it up or you can kind of just use it, right away. This is going to be one of those combo moves. So you're going to go for like forward attack into down attack. That's a combo right there. So you do have things that kind of combo into it as well. Overall, it's one of those moves. I wouldn't just like, straight up go for it like this. You're going to want to combo into it, but it is a strong move overall. And lastly, for the basic attacks, we do have the neutral attack right here. This is going to be TAZ's best move in my opinion. This right here is a very strong move. It does a lot of damage and it is a great combo tool. This is going to be your main tool, your main way to approach. You're going to be running around going for neutral air. This is a great way to kind of get combos started. Just a very strong attack overall. This is how you get your game going right here. This is how you start it off, is with this attack right here, neutral air. And on the ground, it's also a very similar attack, except it's only going to shoot forwards. You can charge it, you can tap it real quick. So overall, pretty decent move. You can combo into it with the aerial version of this attack as well. So you can just go for some quick, easy damage right here. So 14% right there. But yeah, in general, you're going to want to go for the aerial version of this attack. This is going to be your combo starter right here. This leads into basically everything right there. So that's going to be your main tool with TAZ, is your neutral attack right here. Especially when your stuff is on cooldown, right? If you're using Tornado, it's on cooldown. You're going to want to switch it up. You're going to want to go for this neutral attack right here. It's going to be your combo starter. And if you fully charge this, it does crazy damage. It's insane how much damage it does, like 30%. And lastly, you do have TAZ's dash attack, which is pretty good overall, I would say. He kind of just dashes forward like that. I know he has some stuff that combos into it. I think you can do some stuff with like neutral air comboing into it after you do some other stuff like that. But yeah, overall, a pretty decent attack as well. It's a dash attack. I don't know what else to say about it. A lot of dash attacks are like pretty decent in this game, I feel like. So TAZ definitely has a decent one as well. Maybe I was wrong. Like, I feel like TAZ, like a lot of the stuff is kind of basic. It's just the cooldowns, right? I think the cooldowns is one reason to kind of like push newer people away, just because it feels weird to play this character when everything's on cooldown. But aside from the cooldown stuff, with his neutral attacks, I feel like it's very easy to kind of pick up. You can literally just press A and just press forward and you just start doing attacks, start doing damage. That's kind of how TAZ works, I feel like. Like I said, you're going for neutral air a lot right here. You're going for the forward attacks right here. So that's kind of how you play TAZ. My biggest piece of advice if you're going to play TAZ, like I said before, is going to be managing your cooldowns. So don't just be spamming Tornado all day, because if it's on cooldown constantly, it's going to feel very bad. You're going to get like very predictable, I feel like, because you're not going to have very many ways to recover or many things that you can do. So a lot of times when I'm playing TAZ, I like to save Tornado and Dogpile for certain situations. One of them, of course, being whenever my opponent is off stage. A lot of times they tend to dodge back like this, and you can be waiting right here with Dogpile. It lasts a very long time. So if you can predict that they're going to dodge in towards the stage, you can just go ahead and press this and you'll just be waiting for them, and you're going to take stocks at like 70%. Tornado can also be good kind of here on the ledge. So if somebody's like kind of on the bottom trying to get up here, a lot of times Tornado is going to cover a lot of the space right here, and it's a great way to knock people off very early. And again, like I said earlier, your down air is very, very strong too. So a lot of times you can get some early stocks with that too. So spend less time going for Tornado, spend more time throwing up. That's kind of how you play TAZ. He also does have the chicken mechanic. So as you can see above Banana Guard, he has this little salt shaker right there. Basically, whenever that is full, in this case, it needs to get to 18. You basically build that up by just doing basic attacks. It will turn them into a chicken. It just makes them completely useless. and it gives you a chance to kind of go for some more damage, pick up chicken, heal yourself a little bit. So a lot of times you're not going to necessarily get that unless you do some crazy combos that you learn later on. But you know, it's still a cool mechanic, and if you do pull it off, it's a great way to, you know, take some stocks early on as well. That's enough of me talking, of course, so let's go ahead and jump into some matches. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into a match. One thing I do want to talk about with TAZ as we're kind of waiting for a match here is my thoughts on TAZ as a character. I do think that he struggles a lot in this game. He's definitely not the best character in the game. I think he's towards kind of the bottom of the tier list. One of the things he really struggles against in general, I think, is projectile characters, especially against like Marvin. I played against one earlier and I was like, this is impossible. Just because, you know, a lot of times you're kind of burning cooldowns in order to kind of get in on people. And so then it's just kind of hard to play, I feel like. Yeah, I think he really struggles against ranged characters in general. So he's definitely a lot worse than he was in beta. There's no secret there, but like I said before, he's still a fun character to play. You know, he can get some early kills. I feel like that's one thing that makes him like kind of decent. But he definitely has his struggles. That being said, against Wonder Woman here, is a close range character, but unfortunately for me, she's one of the best close range characters. His projectile feels so bad, man. Oh, why did they get rid of the apple? I'm so sad. Okay, I thought I definitely hit her. I guess not. There it is. Yeah, that's gonna kill super early most of the time. Okay, I'm gonna cook it a little bit here. See what TAZ can do. There it is. There it is. Let's go. Okay, TAZ can cook a little bit here. He can cook a little bit, like I said. He can sometimes cook. Not always, but sometimes. Yeah, like I said, this neutral air is so good, especially when they dodge, because it covers like all sides around you. It's like a full 360 right here. It's gonna cover everything. I think that's why it's like really good. There it is. You need some salt for that sandwich. It's crazy how much they changed him. That actually kills. That's crazy. Yeah, that's a strong attack. That was from the ground too. They keep jumping, so that's actually kind of a good follow-up right there. The way I keep following it up with like the boot whenever you jump up with it. This is also gonna be a very strong option right here to kill up the side. Like kind of your go-to. Get that first hit, you're pretty much always gonna get the second. So there it is. Actually killed it. That's crazy. Okay. All right. 146. Here we go. There it is. That should kill. There it is. Yo, I'm getting close to chicken again, actually. Oh, I don't think I'm gonna get it. Yeah, you can just catch people with that. I just need to land one parry. There it is. Oh, that actually didn't kill. That's crazy. Okay. Didn't kill either. This stage is huge.
This is over.
Okay, there's your down air. I got my down air kill. I told you guys I'm moving strong. But there you have it. That is my guide to TAZ for this game. Like I said, he's not the best character in the game, but he is still kind of fun. He is different than he was in the beta, but well, I was gonna say not in a bad way, but it kind of is in a bad way, but he's still fun, I promise. So go ahead and try him out, see if you like him. He is a melee attacker, basically, so, you know, he does have a projectile, but it's pretty bad. So you're gonna be up close and personal, so if that's a character for you, then go ahead and try him out. And again, the biggest thing to watch out for is watching those cooldowns. Make sure you're not spamming Tornado. Kind of mix it up a little bit, go for it when you can, but don't be spamming it. And yeah, go ahead and let me know in the comments if this was helpful, and if it was, I would appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. Help me get to 10,000 subscribers. We're getting closer every day. And let me know which character to make a guide on next. I have made one on Marvin, and I've made one on Tom and Jerry, but if there's any other characters, let me know in the comments. Yeah, I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will catch you all in the next one.